like that, baby. We live. What is happening, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Space Corps podcast. It's your boy Stoney live from the TCM Museum of Minnesota. We made it, baby. We made it to the weekend. Everybody, congratulations. We did it. Hot damn, it's Saturday. I am all jacked up, baby, because we got ourselves a special guest tonight. I can't even fucking wait to show you. This has been like in the making for a month and a half, a month. I've got a handsome, busy fucking man who's got one hell of a schedule. I can't wait to hear all about it. We've been trying to hammer out a certain time to get down, get live, and do this shit. And tonight's the night, baby. So let me just run through this real quick, motherfuckers. If you notice here on this side, here we go. I got to get my cues right. We got some new merch on the store, baby. So make sure you head your ass on over to the fucking the Printify, baby. Space Corps Podcast.printify.me. I got a bunch of nice new shit, dude. So you want to get some Space Corps podcast merch? I got some Stoney's TCM Museum. I even got some cool, dope throwbacks, man. We got some posters to some of our infamous events, including the fucking Mega Powers, baby. Check it out. Anybody that wants to support the show, and everybody that already has, I appreciate everybody that's bought merch, gotten shirts, all that type of shit. It's really appreciated. Everything goes right back into the fucking show. You know, I'm talking like better microphones, better fucking cameras, better Wi-Fi boosters, because, you know, I'm just doing this hokey-ass shit from the fucking basement here in Minnesota, baby. You know how it goes. So, anyway, that's all I'm going to say about fucking advertisements and promos, because I can't wait another fucking second anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the goddamn podcast, I'm talking about motherfucking the Killbilly himself, the Son of Leatherface, Mr. Evil Nate Hewitt is on. Nate, how are you doing, my brother?
Hey, pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, man. Dude, it's been a minute trying to get together on this. I'm so happy it's finally happened, man.
Hey, me too, man. I've been a fan of yours since I came across you in some of those chainsaw groups on Facebook. So, and then, of course, yours, Stoney's, chainsaw, I forget the name of it, but, your name's right in
yeah, dude, it's a
title
mouthful, brother.
It's fucking badass, though. And thanks for that badass introduction. Just to have you call me the Son of Leatherface is, kind of signifies everything. So,
dude, it gets my blood pumping, brother. I don't even know how to say it. Like, it makes me so happy that, like, there's more than just a TCM collector universe out there. Like, there's you that's out there. Like, representing the chainsaw in the professional wrestling world is fucking amazing. And then on top of it, I mean, you're a collector yourself. I mean, you love the fucking franchise, the movie. I mean, Black Dahlia. Everything you two are doing is just incredible, dude.
Thank you. That really means a lot. I just, there's something about, and you can attest to this. This is what's cool about the Texas Chainsaw franchise. And don't get me wrong, I love Friday the 13th is my second favorite.
Sure.
And then of course I love Halloween. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser. I love slashers, Scream, Child's Play. I love it all. But the cool thing about Texas Chainsaw is the fans are just so unapologetically like in love with the franchise. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And there's something just about like all of the films, no matter how bad they suck or how good they are, we find something about each of them that we love.
Yeah, dude, and some of them suck, man, but I love them. Yeah. I'm just like, I can't get enough of it, dude.
Hell yeah, I know. I hated Next Generation as a kid. I hated it so fucking much. It pissed me off. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But for some reason, man, over the past 8 years, I have just fallen in love with it. It's my favorite sequel.
Now, Nate, do you think it's because of the presence of the LGBT community that all of a sudden your transgender Leatherface just makes more sense in today's world?
No, I mean, that's cool,
I was kidding.
I know you are. Like, that's cool. There's just there's this atmosphere to that whole movie. And I know you know what I'm talking about. It's like a fucking 90s music video. It's like Kim Hinkle. It's like he decided. And by the way, the soundtrack to that movie, flawless. It's fucking every song on that movie that they use. Rocky Erickson. I think the band's called Pariah, Push Monkey, all these bands. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's so good, but the whole movie is just like a fucking 90s grunge music video. and the atmosphere to the whole film is just kind of romantic, and then just I don't know, maybe that's just it. It's just romantic. It's just really fucking awesome.
Yeah,
So
dude. I love the way you talk about it. I
which,
I didn't realize until I really got into, like, nowadays with Chainsaw Collect and all that shit, I realized that my first movie I ever watched of TCM was The Next Generation when I was a kid. And I didn't even realize that I saw it. Like, it was so far back in the memory banks. I didn't realize it until I was rewatching it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that intro when the kids, get to the girl and she's flashing her tits at the people walking by. I'm like, I saw this before. I go, holy shit,
that's hilarious.
And then just watching the rest of it, and it's like, it's a soft spot. It was
always,
dude.
it was always like you'd catch it on like maybe the USA Channel or maybe Sci-Fi, but it was always like be playing on Showtime or HBO or Cinemax.
Yeah.
And it's just and then the DVD or VHS, you'd see it all the time. And it was actually, Chainsaw 3 was the first Chainsaw I ever saw.
Okay.
But Chainsaw 4 was the first DVD I ever owned.
Oh, okay.
So,
sure.
And that was just because it was so available, because you got like the lipstick, the chainsaw lipstick with the pretty woman mask here.
Yes.
And I fucking love that movie. And like, that's the one. So I met Kim Hinkle. I wanted to go down this weekend. I didn't get to.
Texas.
I had planned on going down. Yeah, dude, because Kim Hinkle was down there. Like, he was the only person I was going for. And they were up at Cinema Wasteland last year, and he was there. So I planned on going in 2022 down at Texas Frightmare. I didn't get to because of finances. So the next year, Cinema Wasteland did the 50th anniversary in 2023. I don't know why they did it a year before, but they did it. So
all right.
And I saw he was on the bill, and I was like, I got to fucking meet him. I like Kim Hinkle's in his late 70s. I'll never get to meet Toby Hooper. I got to fucking meet him. Plus, he made part 4.
Right.
So I got a poster of Next Generation, and everybody was up there getting him to sign part 1. And I was like, hey, I love part 1, but whatever, man. I take that poster over there, and Dahlia, she filmed the whole fucking thing. So my whole interaction with him. And I guarantee you I'm the only person that weekend that got him to sign part 4.
Yes,
so,
dude.
Like, for me, that's my favorite piece right now, aside from like this mask right here in my collection.
Dude, that's amazing too. By the way, I watch all the shit that you post on your social medias and stuff too, man. I was just like, you're indoctrinated in the brotherhood. I mean, like I'm in your life whether you know it or not. I just like, dude.
Well, it's like I'm looking at what you got right here behind you. Like, this is when I'm looking at stuff on eBay or Amazon. I'm like, okay, what would Stoney get here? Like, what's he gonna, what's something he's probably already got in his collection? Because there's things like. I kind of had to restart my life over a couple years ago, and I still have Texas Chainsaw stuff back home in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I kind of restarted over with everything.
Okay.
And so now I've got replicas of the chainsaws from part 1, 2. We got 2 Excaliburs. Oh, I know, dude. That's the fucking best. Then we got the chainsaw he uses in the Netflix movie, the 306A. Okay. So I got that. And then tomorrow I'm picking up the Husqvarna 359 that is used in the remake and the prequel to the remake.
Ooh, damn. So you got to do some work on that to get it all, screen
really
looking.
Just got to paint it black and put some duct tape on it.
Okay.
That's it.
Simple.
Yeah. That was easy.
So I got to ask you here, and then I'll be jumping all over the fucking board here.
You're good, man. I'm the same way. I'm ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm all over.
Like I said, there's never any format. There's no fucking questionnaire list or anything. But dude, so where did you get your Excaliburs from? Like, who made those? Where are they from? 2 different people?
So, the one behind me right here, it's actually from my friend Eric, Disillusion 74 Studios.
Okay.
And I had actually, I think in 2011, I was Googling Excalibur chainsaws because I love part 3. That's like one of my favorites. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
And I found, I think his name is Neil from Chainsaw Graphics, that he does replicas of the Excalibur.
Yes. And
I was always like, I'm going to get one of those one day. So fast forward COVID's going on, Black Dolly and myself, we were repackaging our wrestling gimmicks. And we were like, hey, we're going to do the whole Texas Chainsaw thing, but with our own spin on it. And she had come up with the idea of, hey, what if Leatherface was hunting cryptids? And I was like, oh, my God, that's great. So we came up with, like, I got an alien skin, a Sasquatch skin, a Mothman skin. And I was like, there's one thing we could do to make it different because Chainsaw Charlie had already existed. That was Terry Funk.
Yep.
Corporal Kirshner from the 80s, he was the first Leatherface in Japan. Okay. And I used to love watching him come out to the death matches and swing the chainsaw. And he's wearing the Leatherface mask that they produced for Chainsaw 3.
Okay.
So he's coming out in that, swinging the saw. So my thought was, well, I can't do it. It's already been done. But what I can do is I can get an Excalibur chainsaw. Yeah. And I know there are guys that make them. So I found Eric, Disillusion 74 Studios. I hit him up and asked him the price and stuff. And at the time it was $2,300. And I was like, well, that's a lot. I was like, that's a lot of money, but that's not, So I'm going to get that money and I'm going to get the saw. So that's what I did. And I think now he doesn't make them anymore, I don't think. But when he quit making them, he had to bring the price up to like $4,000, I believe.
Oh, sure.
And that's because Eric actually goes out of his way and he gets the steel 034, I think is what the saw was from the movie. So he gets like every piece and every part of the actual original chainsaw, and then he chromes it and makes it look like, it does in the film.
Yeah.
So much so that Mick Strawn, I think is how you pronounce his name, who did the Excalibur for part 3, when I took the Excalibur down the second year for Ari Mihailoff to use in his photo op at Scarefest, I was walking through the convention and Mick was sitting at his table and he was like, I made that saw. And I was like, no way. So he's like, it looks just like it. And I was like, can I get a photo? And he's like, oh, absolutely. So we took a photo together and just kind of having, that stamp of approval is very cool. So that's where I got that Excalibur from is
yes.
Disillusion. The other one that Dolly and I got, there was a guy in one of the chainsaw groups, and he had the chainsaw, the Poland 245A from part 1. He had the Poland 4900. Some say it's a 5200, but I think it's 49.
Sure.
He had the Poland 4900. He had an Excalibur, and then he had the chainsaw left he uses in part 2. It needs a carb kit, and then he had the Poland 306A, and he was selling them all for like $1,200 or $1,400. I can't remember. I shot him a message, and I was like, if you hold those for me, I will drive down and buy those.
Whoa.
And he was down in Alabama. That was like, I think, a 7 or 8 hour trip for us. So me, Dolly, and our friend Tina, we jumped in the car. We went down to the Bell Witch Museum in Tennessee, made a little pit stop, got some Nashville chicken. Then we went down to Alabama, got the fucking chainsaws, and rest was history, man.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
God,
it was a good deal and a good steal, too. Because those, and you know this, I guarantee, because didn't you just get a Poland 245A?
Yeah, I found one in the wild recently.
Hard as fuck to find, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the first one I found since I've been doing this whole thing. So
yep,
first one in 5 years, like locally. I'm not even gonna say locally. Like I think like Facebook Marketplace will let me go within like a 200-mile radius. So yep. I've got auto notifications set up. Anything. There's save searches. Pollen, old chainsaw, 245, 306, you name it. I've got 1,000 saved, and it's the first time it popped up, man.
Well,
my heart was fucking racing.
Oh, yeah, I saw you get that. I was like, hell yeah, man. I was like fucking fist pumping in the air like, hell yeah, good for you. Dude, and does yours work and start?
It starts for a minute, then it bogs down, and then it goes out. But that's fine. I'm very handy. I'm cool, man. We're gonna.
Nice.
That's a passion project now. So she's leaking a little bit, but it's here. That's all that matters.
Feels good. It feels good to hold, doesn't it?
Dude, it feels good because I've got another one. I got another one behind me here that I bought from somebody, and it's signed by Ed and a couple others. It's not, and then I put on a second bar that I bought that was signed by Gunner. So I do have one running, but it's nothing like the big chainsaw that I got back here. Like that's got 20. I put 21 autographs on it now, and
dude, that saw because you would pop up in my suggested friends for a long time, and I was like, who is this motherfucker that's got this? This is fucking awesome.
Dude.
And I was dude, I am so jealous of that. That is like, unless you can find like Napoleon from the original Chainsaw, that thing is holy grail.
It is my fucking the thing is, the size of this beast is so fucking crazy, dude. Here, let me move the mic over a little bit.
It's beautiful.
So this thing's definitely got some history to it. So this came from the Landon Lee collection, which Landon Lee was one of the biggest TCM collectors apparently out there. I never got to meet the guy.
Really?
Whatever. He passed away, and then his wife or his girlfriend, who was a significant other, reached out to some of our local auctioneers and said, "Hey, I need help, selling off all the stuff." And so this had gone to my buddy Eric Crimmins, who is an auctioneer. Shout out to Eric's Secret Stash. So Crimmins had this, and he would barely even put it on camera. This is the first time I'm putting it on camera other than a picture I took. But
wow.
I'm not scared. I'll fucking show it.
Well, I'm honored. I am absolutely honored.
So Crimmins had it, and he bought it from the Landon Lee collection for however much money. He held it, and he said he was never getting rid of it. And all of a sudden, a couple of us throughout, the months that had gone by, every time he'd do an auction, we all found out about it, and we're like, show us the chainsaw, show us the chainsaw. He goes, no, I'm not going to show that. Finally, one night, he goes, all right, if you guys stick around after the auction, I'll show it. I'll flash it off. So I was ready with my phone, and all of a sudden he shows it off, and I'm screenshotting like every 5 seconds, pick, and I start analyzing it, and I'm like looking at, I'm zooming in, I'm seeing all the fucking autographs on it, and then then the big thing was all of a sudden every day I'm like, hey, when are you gonna sell me this? When are you gonna sell me this? And he wouldn't forever, and then finally we got into a position, and he goes, you know what? I gotta part with it, and you're the only person I could ever think of that would take this on and love it, more than I would. So fucking honored, dude. It was great. And then I got to get some fresh ink on it. You see the white, the shinier white. I got Mark Burnham is the one that I put on there, the Crypticon in Minneapolis. So but yeah, dude, I've got some extras to put on there, but I've got most of the heavy hitters on that thing. So
dude, that is amazing. Like that saw, man. I'll never forget, like, because I saw the photo of Mark also holding it, and I couldn't help. I was like, dude, that's fucking beautiful. You know who I would love to get, because we know we can't get Robert Jacks. Like, I don't think there's any autographs of him out there,
I don't think so.
Which is so fucking sad.
Yeah,
but it'd be cool if, like, we could get a hold of somebody in his family and there was something. I don't know. But I do know his stuntman, Oscar.
Yes.
Some people have gotten autographs from him.
Yep.
And if somebody could get something with Gunner's autograph, the 3 Leatherfaces from Part 2, Kane Hodder and R.A. from Part 3, Oscar from 4, Brett and Andrew from the remake and the prequel. Then, of course, Dan Yeager, and then AJ that was on the cover for Chainsaw 3D.
AJ Stone. That's another Stone, baby. We're out
there. Get him, and even get my least favorite one, Young Leatherface.
Yeah.
Get him on something. And then also, too, the other Leatherface in Chainsaw 3D, the one at the beginning of the film. I always forget about him.
Yeah, I forget his name, too. I got to find him.
Completely. Dude, right now on eBay, there is a fantastic poster a collector has up for auction. You've probably already seen it. It's like $550, and I've spoke to him a little bit, but it has Gunner, Dan Yeager, and that other Leatherface. They're all 3 on it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
See, so here's the thing, is that right now, I was speaking to my boys yesterday on our group chat, is that right now, in this type of economy, post-stimulus money, all this type of shit, right? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's do a history lesson here. So, COVID hits, everybody's locked down, and all of a sudden, we're all bored as shit, so the fucking horror community groups just flourish, right? And then you introduce stimulus money. Everybody's got this money, so collectibles are just coming off the fucking shelves. Everybody's buying, everybody's collecting. Things are just worth crazy amounts of money. And then all of a sudden, that stops, right? Stimulus money, pans off, all this shit. Everybody's all of a sudden got to go back to work. Bills got to be paid. And, and we've ridden that for a while. And then now it's like the economy's hitting, tanking a little bit more where shit's, it's getting tough for everybody. So right now, unfortunately, a lot of people are parting with, the more exotic shit that you wouldn't normally see. And the sad part is, okay, all of a sudden, all right, my fucking grail piece I got to sell because I got to pay the bills. Well, not a lot of people even got the money to pay for that. So you're getting lower, value. It's just like, dude, it sucks for anybody that's got to part with shit. But for us collectors, it's a fucking beautiful time to need to add to your collection, dude, because some shit's coming out of the woodwork that you would have never dreamed to have seen. Yeah.
You're right. And the things I've come across here recently, dude, right now, another thing I have saved on my eBay watch list is it's all 3 issues of Jason versus Leatherface, the comic.
Yes.
Signed by Gunner and Kane Hodder, all 3. Dude, you want to know how much it is?
Well, tell me, because I'm looking up on eBay right now. I'm going to snipe that from
$250. $250. No, go get it. It's $250.
No fucking way.
That stuff without the signatures is $150.
All right, we're gonna cut this part out here real quick. Nobody else needs to know about this.
I mean, it's completely fucking worth it.
That's the thing, dude. It's just like it's. I mean, it's an asshole thing to say, but it's a good time to have a little bit of scratch to spend right now. Like
it is, man. Because I saw that and I was just like flabbergasted. I was like, oh my God. I was like, really? I was like, is this right? And then I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, the signatures look legit. It might come with a certificate of authenticity. I'm not sure. But, I mean, it looks legit. Regardless, the comics themselves, they're like, just for all 3 of those are $150 that's the cheapest I found for all 3.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And, hell, that's the same thing for the first those 4 issues of Leatherface from 1991. They're $150 also.
Yep. Damn, dude. See, and one thing, I'm not a big comic book nerd by any means, but I definitely have a big stack of some TCM stuff, and I wonder what it costs to get that professional graded, in the fucking packaging with it, I mean, what does that cost? Is that $50? Is that $100? Is that, like, what kind of an investment to put the seal approved, like, this is the condition? Because some of that TCM stuff, I wouldn't mind getting that graded, dude.
It's funny you bring up about the seal. I've come across a bunch of the Leatherface versus Jason comics and those first runs I was talking about of 1991 where they're sealed and mint condition, and they're listed for $215, $250, and that's just for one comic. That's for one. So, but too, if you get something like that, and if you were to get R.A. and Kane Hodder to autograph it, dude,
well, that's what I'm saying right there. Is if they're already autoed and shit, like, damn, dude.
The mask. What I was wanting to tell you about that. So it's on this side. My bad.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. I was like, oh yeah. So I became aware of this mask last year from the guy that did the Excalibur, Eric.
Okay.
And he found out I was going to Cinema Wasteland. And he told me, he was like, hey, will you get Kim's autograph for me? I was like, well, fuck yeah, I absolutely will, dude. I'll do anything I can for you. And he shot me a photo of this mask, and I was like, oh, my God. And it's autographed by the actor that played W.E. Slaughter and by the actor that played Barry.
Oh.
And apparently, Eric, he told me that it was previously owned by Edgar, the truck driver from Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah. And apparently Edgar from Part 1 used to have an entire fucking boatload of stuff from Next Generation. And I was like, can we figure out how I can get into this? Because I would love to get some of that.
Oh.
So we'll see where we go from there. But because I would love to get some more stuff from Part 4.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, there's especially a lot of these movies out of the franchise that there was no love, especially in any type of advertisement, merchandise, whatever.
Yeah.
So, thank God for custom artists out there, because otherwise it wouldn't be shit. Because that's the thing. It's like there's ample amounts of stuff for 74, 2, some 3, and then 2003, and then after that, I mean, that's I mean, yeah, they put out some stuff for 2022 and all that, but
Yeah.
But shit, I mean, again, that Next Generation, I got such a soft spot for that. And on one of my earlier podcasts, I got that German edition, that statue bust,
I've been
thing.
dying to find that. I want that so bad.
I didn't know what that was, and then all of a sudden I found it, in the height of COVID on eBay for like $200 from Germany, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, and I just didn't believe it, and there was only like one weird picture, and I'm just like, I didn't feel right about it, so I passed on it, and then all of a sudden I really learned what it was, and I go, fuck, And then I finally found it from a dude that was he was actually trying to sell me something else from his collection, and all of a sudden in his detofs in the back I saw that, and I go, is that for sale? And he goes, yeah, I guess. And I go, dude, please, for the love of God, give that to me. So
I've been trying to find it. I can't find it anywhere. I saw it one time, but it was like $400. I said I can't afford that. I tell you what,
right.
I tell you what too. What pisses me off, and I don't know why I fucked up like this. When I was at Cinema Wasteland last year, they actually had sealed VHS tapes of Return of the Texas Chainsaw.
Yes.
$40. And I don't know what was wrong with me. I looked at it, but I think I was just so distracted by, oh, fuck, there's Kim Hinkle. Because for me, dude, I'm telling you, Brad Pitt could have walked in the door naked and I wouldn't have looked at him twice. I'd have been like, bro, fucking Kim Hinkle's right here.
Show some respect. Kim's here.
This is all that matters to me, man. This is all that matters.
So, well, for everybody who doesn't know, so
you got it.
And you'll probably not be able to pick it up, but signed by Kim right there too.
When the fuck? When did you get that, dude?
And I've got another one still in the original cellophane, unopened.
Oh man.
So for everybody, this is part 4. This is the original title of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: Next Generation. This is the return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
So originally titled that, and anybody needs to look it up. No TCM movie has been filled with more drama and fucking legal bullshit than that movie.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking Matthew McConaughey's first real role, Renee Zellweger's first real role. And, and going into that, I had always heard that they were just both so ashamed of it that they tried to bury it. That's not even the case, man.
Nope, they talk about it.
They do now, finally, so.
Those, I'll tell you, dude, those would be 2 great autographs to fucking get on a poster.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine?
It makes me want to go to that Texas University where he fucking speaks, dude. Because before, it sounded like he would never touch anything about that. And not that he signs many autographs, but I think if now the present date, now some time's gone by and it's a nostalgic part of your history and your upbringing. And look where you are now. You're such a success. If I came to him and be like, dude, you don't understand. This is what I do, and this is my fucking love. Yes. And I would be just, yes, dude.
Can you sign this?
Do you have one of these yet?
Not yet, man. No, not yet. I'm dying. It's funny because I told a guy down at Texas Frightmare, actually the guy that runs Scarefest, Brandon, Dolly and I were supposed to meet him down there. But again, we didn't get to go. No biggie. It happens. I texted him. I was like, hey, when you go to the TCM, table, last year they had them at Cinema Wasteland. Look and see if they got them this year.
Sure.
If they do, I'll pay. I haven't heard from them, so I don't know. Because one time I told Brett Wagner, because Brett was with them out in California. I said, hey, check out the table, man, and see if they got it. I never heard from them on that. I heard from them since, but not on that. So I guess they didn't have it.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I've been watching all these posts now that everybody's down at fucking Frightmare. Everybody's down there, and I'm just like, the one thing that you couldn't wait to see, and I'm sorry you couldn't make it down there. I feel bad for you, but hey, I couldn't go either. So misery loves company, baby. But the fucking mask, dude, the screen. I mean, like Chase Anderson's down there with the fucking museum and like.
I know.
God damn, dude, the uber fucking cast. Like, I mean, I've got everybody that I could ever really want, autographs, but now these weird one-off people they're pulling out of the woodwork for they have the guy that did the sound on part 1 and part 4 because I was going to get him to sign this. Yep.
I was going I was going to get him to fucking sign this.
So like so my big cast sign poster behind there, I've sent that out twice, out into the fucking big world. I sent my little baby out. I packed a lunch and I said, I hope everything goes well. My homie Sean Fuller, who runs Slasher Stashers, he got me a couple autographs, and then my homie Riley Estes, the Evil Wonka, he got me a few as well. So I think collectively they got me 4 or 5 autos on there. And you know, I trust those guys with my fucking life, you know, and so I was fine with that. But the thing is you can't control what happens in shipping, you know what I mean? So each time, even though they packaged it well and all that, the poster got a little beat up each time, you know, and that was okay. I'm not like a pristine, you know, I don't get upset on that type of shit. But just the idea of if that got lost, and it doesn't matter if you put insurance on something like that, because you can't prove the value of that. You know what I mean? So when I look at, you know, a $1,500 poster, if it got lost, I'd be lucky to get $100 from UPS and a sorry, you know. So I you know, there's certain things that are too precious to me that I can't anymore send them out to people. And again, it's not that I don't trust the people at all. I trust these people more than anything, but it's the in-between transit that gives me a fucking heart attack. And and so that's why I'm excited. I'm excited about Chicago. We should talk about Chicago because me and you are going to meet up. We're getting a hotel room. OnlyFans account is going to go through the fucking roof.
That's good. Yeah, dude. Midwest Gore Fest, man. I'm stoked about it because, I mean, that's why I got the Husqvarna 359, and I know Dolly and I were providing the chainsaw for Bob Elmore to use.
Yeah.
At that for the photo op, and trying to think what else was it. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna get John Dugan to sign this because he's at the end of part 4.
Yep.
I actually had something funny too. Real quick side note. I'm going to get Stone Cold's ex-wife to sign this Deborah, where she plays one of the cops in the movie.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yep, because ain't nobody fucking got that. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man.
Because you remember when what's her name has Renee Zellweger in the trunk and she stops for pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, the 2 cops, there was a male cop and a female cop. The female cop was Deborah, Steve Austin's ex-wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. So that's what I want to do because, like, Dolly is booked for all these conventions and stuff. So, like, where we do the wrestling circuit all the time, we're always out there and we're crossing paths with all these legends and all these people I grew up watching and stuff. So, I know Dolly is booked on an event coming up at some point, and we're going to end up crossing paths. And when we do, hey,
dude, hey, you know, let me know when that happens, man. I might have to ship you a little poster, man, because I got 11 by 17 that has Oscar on it, and a couple other people too. So I wouldn't mind adding to that, man. Holy shit!
Absolutely, you can trust me. You can trust me with that, no problem.
Absolutely.
How did you get Oscars? How did you get Oscars autograph? Did you mail it to him?
I found it online. I found it online from somebody who went, and they had some pictures. They showed how it went. I said, "Fuck yes, dude." We talked, and I've scored a couple of some really impressive pieces off eBay. As much as it's garbage and I hate it, you know. But hey, man, you know, collect where you can. That's
true. That's what I do. Before we talk about Midwest Gore Fest, 2 things also I want to do is I actually want to get Edgar the truck driver from part 1. I want to get his autograph on a part 2 poster because where he's in the background.
He's the judge.
Yep. Yeah. And then I want to get Caroline Williams from part 2 on a part 3.
Oh, all right. Hell yeah.
Because nobody does that.
Yep.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen it anyway. You know what I mean? Like you very rarely see Kane Hodder on a part 3. Sure. I've seen him on one part 3.
Yep. So he is one of my last on the real bucket list to meet in person, like because
he's great.
That's it. I've got my part 3 big cast sign poster. He's got to be on there, and I've got some certain things, you know, like yeah. I'm just hoping one day we get one convention here in Minneapolis, and then that's the Crypticon, and I'm never gonna badmouth them because thank God it's something. But for the love of God, I mean, you know, not to toot our own horn, but we're Minneapolis. We're at least a big city. You know what I mean? We're not just some bum fuck whatever.
No, a lot of wrestling came out of Minneapolis, man.
Dude, yes, it has.
Whole lot of
Fucking
wrestling.
right. So I just, I'm hoping one time they're gonna swing him. I really hope so. I'm just holding.
I'm
my
sure they
breath.
will, dude. He goes everywhere. So I'm sure you'll get him. If you could get him on that, and then of course the Texas Chainsaw game, that'd be perfect.
Dude, absolutely, yeah. So
Because I mean, he's as much of a Leatherface as the rest of them. I mean,
yeah,
because I know at Scarefest this year we're having Bob Elmore, Bill Johnson from Part Two, and then even Tom that played him on the bridge.
okay,
So
yep.
you're going to have 3 Leatherfaces from Part Two.
Right. Yeah. So I will be bringing the big ass chainsaw when I meet you in Chicago too. By the way, because I got a couple that are going to be there. The 2 special effects guys from Part 3, they're going on there. I'm even going to get Mort. That's the
Yes.
from the comic. It sounds like Damien has dropped off, who was the dude in the video game, so that's a bummer.
Yeah,
but that's okay. That doesn't fucking make or break it to me,
No, same. I'm going. I'm going just for the experience of I know Andrew's there. I want to get his autograph because I have a poster from Part One, or not Part One. I have a poster from the remake
Yeah.
that has the director Marcus. It has his autograph on it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I want to add Andrews to that.
That's awesome.
I was going to take it down this weekend and get Daniel Pearl to sign it also, but I didn't get to. So.
Sure. So Big Tommy is over here. So this is I don't know if you ever heard of my buddy Riley Estes. He's the evil Wonka. He was this amazing. I talk like he's dead. He's not dead, but right now he got sucked back into real life. So that poor guy,
Okay.
he's got to work a regular jack off job like I do, and he can't do his normal purpose in life, which is to make amazing custom art. And but it shit is what it is. But the thing is that this is my most favorite thing he's ever made for me, and I think most favorite thing anybody's ever made. But this is a 36-inch tall Thomas Hewitt from the New Beginning Leatherface.
Oh.
And I can't just pull it out of the case, is so easy or whatever. But it's fucking amazing. Like it's his, like I don't know what you would call it. Like it's his Everest. It's his fucking Mona Lisa. Thing he's ever put out. He puts out amazing things, but Big Tommy is coming with me because Bernarski is going to be there. And I've got Bernarski on a bunch of shit. My cast iron poster, which I got to show you one day, is beautiful, dude. I think that the origin of my cast iron poster was from the actual what do you call that? The day they premiere the movie.
Premiere?
Yeah. It was from the premiere. So everybody in there signed it all in gold. So I've got fucking I even have Jessica Alba on there, dude.
Dude, that's so cool,
dude,
man.
Arlie Ermy, dude, everybody's on that fucking thing.
Oh my god!
Except for Brett Wagner, because Brett hadn't come out for a while. He was supposed to be at the Crypticon this year, and then all of a sudden he had scheduling conflicts, and he actually had a contractual obligation for like some filming, which I get.
I tell you what, if you're comfortable with it, because I know the whole mill thing and stuff, but if you are, I'll be around Brett because. Dolly and I were at Scarefest all weekend this year, and where we're providing all the chainsaws for them and stuff, and we're setting up and doing our thing down there. If you wanted to, I could get that signed for you, no problem.
Dude,
so,
well, I appreciate the fucking offer. I'll think about it for sure.
Yeah, think about it because trust me, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't put it in the mail. I'd be like, fuck it, I'll wait until I run into them. So
that's just it's a thing now. It's like, and I wouldn't even trust to put it in my luggage if I'm flying. Like it would be fucking with me. It'd be a carry-on. So
that's like this saw, man, when like Dolly and I are out wrestling and we're traveling.
Do you
I love my saw, man, because it's been used by RA. It's been signed by RA. I've had it down at the gas station for Part 1, from the house from Part 1. I've had it at the house from Part 4. I can't get into the house, but I've had it right outside down in Pflugerville, Texas.
Sure.
Yeah, so I get it.
Amazing. Now the thing in my life right now is, I got 3 kids, right? I got 3 young ass kids, but now they're okay. So Zelda's 9. I got Abram. He's fucking 6, 7, something like that. But the baby has been the big thing, right? The baby's now 1, and now the baby's become toddler. So now we're getting to an area that I can almost start to leave for a minute. and we're gonna test this out with the fucking Chicago trip because
all right.
At first it was gonna be this. The only way I could kind of talk my wife into it was that, hey, honey, you know how you wanted to do like a family trip this summer? I said, well, what do you think about, I got to go to Chicago for a reason. How about we go to the Wisconsin Dells? Because that's right on the way for us, right?
Nice.
And she goes, well, that sounds amazing, and so I go, perfect. So I bought the ticket to Chicago. We were going to build this big trip around the Wisconsin Dells. It all fell apart because we realized our kids are crazy, and it's such a shit show. And we're going, you know what? Fuck it. So I said, how about this instead? I said, how about you stay here with the baby and the oldest, because Zelda can help out. She's the little mini mom around the house. She can help out with, whatever. And I take the crazy boy, and we go just straight to Chicago and back, and then she bid on it. She goes, yes, do that. I said, fucking
nice.
Right. So I'm saving a bunch of money, which is great, too, to spend at the con. Hey-oh! So,
dude, that's cool. I'm very excited.
Dude.
At the con, too, if you're staying for the wrestling portion, the Leatherface that's going to be there, Chainsaw Tony.
Yeah.
Dolly and I are really good friends with him. He is the third incarnation of that the wrestling Leatherface.
Okay.
So you had the first one that I talked about earlier, Corporal Kirshner.
Yes.
And there was a second one that came after him. His last name was, I think, Patterson.
Okay.
And then you have the one now, Chainsaw Tony.
Okay.
So in wrestling, it's a pretty cool lineage of like the actual Leatherface.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk. We got to talk Chicago for a minute.
Yep.
So I've been talking with Mark, who's been putting on the whole thing. Are you familiar with him? You've been talking with him at all? Okay.
Yeah, I have.
So all right. So there's a bunch of things here. I'm gonna be scatterbrained about it. But one of the biggest things that I'm excited because not only are you and Black Dolly gonna be there too, right? She's coming.
Yep, she's there. Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So not only am I just excited that I get to meet my friends, in real fucking life, I get to fucking squeeze on you for a minute and
hell yeah, baby.
Snap some pictures. But so one of the things that Mark is doing is he is creating a limited series of wrestling belts, legit wrestling belts, right? And he's put some posts up of kind of the mold and all this stuff. We haven't seen the final thing, but I'm getting one of those from him. So we're already talking about that. So that I'm very excited about because another thing that I'm really excited, the fact that you're just on tonight, is that I grew up on professional wrestling, dude. I am a fan of pro wrestling.
Nice.
So in order, just the crossover is such a love to me right now that, once he told me there was going to be professional wrestling, out there, and then it was all Leatherface, and TCM related, I thought that was the news. I thought you were going to be there. I'm sorry you're not. It'd be awesome.
You're good, man. You're good.
But so I'm getting that belt. I'm going to need some signatures on this belt, and I am making this exclusive to only people that are within the wrestling realm. So I am not getting all the fucking schmucks and all the people that are there for the cast reunion stuff. I've got them on everything. This is a straight up fucking wrestling belt. So I would really hope that you two are going to sign this for me.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, if that's what you want, we absolutely will.
It's what I need. It's what I fucking need. And then another thing, too, just to promote you, is I had no idea that you had merchandise. And I saw recently, because again, I follow you all the time, is that you have something that is so exciting to me because when I was a kid, there was the Wrestling Buddies. Yeah, fucking things. I had the Ultimate Warrior when I was a kid. That's all my parents got me. That's all I have. Hell yeah. Or whatever. So I had the Ultimate Warrior forever. Now, granted, my favorite is Macho Man, just out of all of them or whatever.
Yeah.
So one of these days, from one of these fucking online groups, I'm gonna get in on a little fucking auction here, Nate. And I tell you what, you got 3 minutes. Uh-huh. Yes. Dude, the Mega Powers, I'm all in on it. So
Bonesaw McGraw.
So that's my love growing up, right? I got that. And then all of a sudden enter the TCM universe. And then all of a sudden I start to see these motherfuckers. Up, right?
Yep.
So do you know what's missing right now from this?
No.
Nate. Because you You son of a gun, have merchandise of one of these things of you. And I swear to God, I am going to cuddle and spoon the fuck out of that thing.
Well, that's an honor. I appreciate that. I will. I will have them on hand. And it's funny you bring that up too, because I was talking to Black Dahlia earlier today. Actually, a couple hours ago, we're getting ready to order her some too. So they won't be in by Chicago, but we'll have them in by the end of the summer.
Awesome.
And the Leatherface you just pulled up there, that's actually where I got the design from. The guy that was making them, I sent him a photo of that. I said, all these other wrestlers do, they're just getting them like, how the Ultimate Warrior was, just like that. I said, add a chainsaw to mine and make it this, please. And he said, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, fuck yeah, thank you. So,
dude, excellent. I was so, again, I have a lot of TCM stuff. So there's not a lot that gets me all excited nowadays. It sounds snobby. I don't mean to sound elitist or anything like that. But all of a sudden I see what you got at your fucking merch booth. And I was like, dude, I'm like, fuck, please send me one. You go, I got one for you in Chicago. And I go, yes, dude.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'll tell you something else too. If I was to never do anything else with wrestling, just the idea that I got to carry out Leatherface's chainsaw, and it's actually been used by him, and I've taken it all over this country, and it's been at all these conventions now. Just the fact that I got to do that, and I've kind of, in my own way, it becomes synonymous with the Saw as family.
Yes.
Like the 12-year-old version of me would be losing his fucking mind.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So putting both Texas Chainsaw, the movies, with professional wrestling and with 80s hair metal, putting all that together, along with, like Dahlia said, cryptozoology with Bigfoot and Mothman and all that, it's literally everything about me just thrown into one. And I have fun doing this. So, and then I get to call myself the Son of Leatherface. And I've actually, I'll drop this news on here. I've actually talked to RA. We're going to collab on a T-shirt together.
Really?
And, oh, yeah. And he's down to do it. So I was like, fuck yeah, dude, this is great,
That's so cool.
So I get to do a wrestling shirt with R.A. Mihailoff.
Can I say something?
Oh, hell yeah.
Congratulations on your success. I fucking love it, dude. I absolutely love it. I love seeing my friends succeeding and doing amazing things.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. And I want to thank you too, just for like all the support you've shown to Black Dahlia and myself, because coming, and I'm sure you faced this in like the collecting world, there's a lot of toxicity and bullshit, and a lot of just negative Nancy's out there, and wrestling is so full of that. So like when we have people that really support us and are really cool with us, we fucking hold on to you guys. Yeah. And so we just really appreciate the support and the friendship, man.
Dude, absolutely, man. Like I said, it's so cool, like with you two specifically, because it's such a different aspect of the TCM universe to me, and I love that. It's so unique, and I don't take any of my friends for granted or any of the collector stuff, but it's so interesting to me, and I'm so excited. I swear to God, Chicago, I'm so fucking pumped about this.
Dude. Midwest Gore Fest, we're gonna have a really good time. It'll be a really good 2 days of this just TCM festival that has wrestling married to it, and just a really good time. And the fact that you have John Dugan, Alan, whoever, I think Edgar or Ed, however you say his name, the truck driver, he's there. It's one hell of an ensemble. Or however you say that. I'm being a hillbilly right now.
You're good,
but
man.
It's one hell of a gathering, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be a very positive turnout.
I think so too. And like the nice things, and I've talked about this. I always try to promote it each time I do these episodes, but like, it's going to be a smaller, intimate venue, and that to me like is really, really appealing, because again, coming as a guy from Minnesota, we got our Crypticon, but it's smaller, right? It's in a hotel. It's kind of spread out throughout these rooms throughout the convention. But I see my friends, as they go through these big ass conventions, people wait in line for like 7 hours, dude, just to get an autograph. You know, with
you don't have to do that at this one.
No. So. And that makes me so for the fact for me to take a trip out of Minnesota to somewhere, you know, okay, I should have gone to Texas Frightmare, right? I mean, I'm the TCM guy, right? That's I should have fucking been there. But again, I just feel like that's just so massive where I'm just going to waste so much time just trying to do one task. And I can't stand that, dude. It's not worth it to me. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to meet you and all that shit, but fuck, man, that's my whole day.
Yeah, it's so the trip for us would have been 15 hours, but we're used to doing that type of thing where we travel so much.
I'm sure you are.
Because like her and I, what we usually do if we don't have a hotel for somewhere, we'll stop at a rest stop. We'll sleep all night. Then the next day we'll go to Planet Fitness, take a shower, continue.
Yeah.
So that's what we do to survive because her and I, we lived out in Dolly and myself, we lived out in L.A. We slept out of our car for more than 7 months as we trained under Rikishi. So
cool.
We know what that shit's like. That shit sucks.
Sorry, I don't mean cool as you slept in your car. You said Rikishi, so sorry. That was cool.
No, it was cool. No, the experience, up until she developed her CRPS.
Yeah.
It was with the exclusion of that bullshit that she's still going through to this day. It was cool for us to go out there and do it because, you know, we're just fucking, it's just us. We're going to our day job, which was on third shift at the time, which was terrible. And we're going to the gym, and then I'm going and training with this guy. Both of us are that I used to watch on TV. I had action figures of. I played him on video games. You know, I was mad when he ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, all that stuff. So we came from that, and then we spent time training under Funaki down in San Antonio. We did that, I think, for like 4 or 5 months the previous year. So her and I both, we know how to adapt. Like last year, we drove all the way out to Arizona. We drove straight out. I left here on a Friday. Let's say it was a Friday for argument's sake. I left here on Friday. We drove straight out there. I wrestled, and then we drove straight back. It was about a 22-hour trip.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, I always hear the road is just crazy for you wrestlers, man.
It's fun, but it fucking sucks.
I bet.
You got to lock it.
How long did you train with Rikishi for?
We were out there for 7 months training.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you meet him? How did you get in touch?
Oh, so Black Dolly and I, we left she's not from Kentucky. You can tell that like when she talks, and two, she doesn't look inbred or hillbilly like me. You know what I mean? So we got one branch of our family tree in Kentucky. It just goes straight up. You know what I mean? But so she's not from there, but I met her in Kentucky through wrestling, and there was a bunch of bullshit that happened with my family and stuff like that. I wound up being homeless. So it was like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here. It is what it is. So we left. Her mom was an RN, and she was travel nursing at the time. They were down in Texas, so we moved down to Texas. Black Dolly got these connections and stuff with a wrestling company. And then we found out that WWE legend Funaki, that I also grew up watching, he had a school down in San Antonio. Okay. So her and I moved down to San Antonio. We start training down there, wrestling for one company down there also. And we found out that because WrestleMania 32 that year was in Dallas. So we drove up to Dallas, and we found out Rikishi had a traveling thing with his school at the time. And we went up and we met him, and then we found out about his school. So then fast forward a couple months later, we fly out there to try the school out. And we were like, well, fuck it. This is what we're going to do then. And to further our training and to get more experience, we drove all the way out there, lived out there. And then we came back after she got injured out there and came back here, had to have multiple surgeries. Then she ended up getting CRPS, and then we ended up taking off. Like, I think I was out for almost 5 years, and she literally just got back in the ring last weekend just as a valet. Like, she gave a move, took a move. She's been completely out of the ring ever since. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the cool thing is, when she was booked, here's the funny thing. She hasn't wrestled her first match as a wrestler. Now she spent her time on the indies with me, like paying her dues as a valet. I'm talking like we travel. tearing down rings, setting up rings. Like, she busted her fucking ass.
Sure.
And then she decided, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler. And that's when we started training at Funaki's. And then we went to Quiche and we trained out there. But she never got to have her first match because of her CRPS. Well, the funny thing about it is, without wrestling, she's gotten booked at all these fucking conventions, and it's just it's the most badass thing. So she got booked at WrestleCon this past year. She's been at WrestleBash. Her first thing she did, she went to Queens, New York, at this comic book shop called the Wrestling Universe Store, and they bring in like all these wrestling names. They'll bring the Hardys in. They'll bring in like Kane. They'll bring him up there.
Sure.
Just everybody. So they had brought in wrestlers all day that day to Queens, New York at this comic book shop. The main event that day was former WWE diva Alicia Fox and then Dahlia. And then Dahlia signed just as much as Alicia Fox out there. And I was like, oh my God, this is badass.
Yeah, dude.
And it's just, she has this connection with people, and which, I mean, she's hot and stuff. So but also too, she's got like this it factor about her to where people are like, hey, there's something about you. So she really fucking draws people in. And it's just like, I'm like, damn, I wish I was like that and I could do that without even having to wrestle. So I told her, I was like, when you start wrestling and stuff, it's fucking over.
Yeah, dude.
It is. It's fucking over. So.
Well, I'm sorry you're not as easy on the eyes, but you know what?
I'm not.
I still think that there's a lot of good shit to come. So.
Hell yeah. I didn't mean to ramble like that. I get fucking talking, man. And
I love it. I fucking love
sweet.
it. Like I said, I've been waiting so long for us to do this that you know, I've got just so many just genuine questions and just curiosity.
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck yeah.
I know that there's a bunch of shit we've been wanting to talk about, and we've been probably going on for a good hour or so already. So
yeah, I think we're getting close. Midwest Gore Fest. We're gonna have a fucking good time. I'm excited, man.
Dude, so here's my thing. Like, have you guys already booked your hotels or?
Now, yeah, I've been talking to the guy running it about. I'm waiting information from him right now. So
gotcha. Yeah. So again, so it's gonna be me and my son going, and and he's easy youngster. He's probably 7 or something. And again, I try to, I've been to Chicago like once when I was a kid. I kind of stopped there at a Greyhound station while I was going out to a concert in Baltimore or something. So
that's cool.
The thing is, like, I gotta make sure that I'm keeping the boys safe and myself because, I'm like, when I was a younger kid, I didn't give a fuck. I'd smoke cigarettes all the time. I'm like, I'll fucking die when I'm 40. Well, okay, now I got kids. Now I got a wife. People depend on me being around, so.
Hell yeah.
I said, without just being some out-of-towner bullshit.
We all fucking need you, dude. We all need you
well,
fucking around.
You,
Come on. Look at all this. Not just the handsome face, but all this preservation you got going on.
What's my wife going to do with all this when I die? She doesn't know. She'll probably sell it off for $10,
That's what I'm saying. So we can't have that.
But so I'm like, I understand, okay, so, Chicago's dangerous. But again, I live in Minneapolis too. So it's like, not comparing it, but I'm just like, I kind of brush some of it off. I go, okay, you guys are fine. Yeah. But so I started looking at it and I go, okay, Chicago's right down on the fucking, on the lake there. And where the convention is, it's just up the highway. And then up further is Chicago O'Hare. So I found a hotel kind of up in O'Hare area because we're coming down into it, and so, it's like a 20-minute drive from there.
Yeah.
But so we're going to come Friday morning. We're going to leave at like 7:30. It's a 6-hour drive from us. So we're going to get in just enough time to check in the hotel, get all settled in. And then we're going to come to the convention on Friday. Cause Friday it's from like 4 to 9 or something like that. And then Saturday's the big day, right? It's like 11 to fucking 9:30. Cause the wrestling's on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And so I looked at that while I was planning. I go, well, fuck, the wrestling is late at night on Saturday. We probably can't do that because, my son, he's a fucking kid, and he's a little bit on the spectrum. He's not that easy just to sit in a chair and, sit forever, but maybe he will. So I might just buy some fucking tickets for the wrestling side anyway because, fuck it, man. If we left, at 6 o'clock or if we left at 10 o'clock, it doesn't matter too much. We're going to be back at night at some point. So are you going to be catching the wrestling? Or is that your plan?
I'm going to see how it goes and stuff because I know the guy running the company, the promotion. The guy running the promotion, his name is John. Dolly and I worked for him in Kentucky back in 2013, actually.
Okay.
So I didn't even realize that until Mark was telling me. But I've been wanting to meet Chainsaw Tony in person forever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to meet him. Bare minimum, I'm going to stay and meet him and talk to him.
Dude, see, I got to get him on the fucking wrestling belt too, man. I got to get all three of you.
You do, man, especially him, just because of the gimmick. And he goes to Japan all the time, dude. So he barely wrestles in the United States. So if you can catch him over here, it's a good thing.
That's fucking cool. Maybe, yeah, I mean, like, and the nice thing about this convention, the tickets are so cheap. Everybody, the fucking tickets are like, I don't even know what the fuck it was. But for me, I bought 2 tickets because at first I thought the whole family was going, so I bought one for me and the wife. And it was like under $100 for 2 of us. Ringside wrestling tickets are like $35. It's $25 for regular wrestling. I mean, it's fucking cheap, dude.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. You'll be able to actually afford stuff there. It is going to be fun. It's going to be worth. Oh yeah, then you know what? Earlier, Mick Strawn, he's going to be there. I'm very excited about seeing him again. So
me too, man.
I forget the other guy that's with him. I'm excited about getting their autographs on my mind. Because I got a 1-sheet poster. I got 2 original Chainsaw 3 posters.
Nice.
And I've yet to get anybody to sign them. So they won't be the first because Dolly and I, we're going to Smoky Mountain Terror down in Tennessee, and we're going for one reason. Well, now 2 reasons. But Leatherface's daughter from Part 3 is going to be there.
Jennifer Banco.
Yep. So I want to get her autograph on the poster, and then the pretty boy from the remake, he's going to be there now.
Okay.
The blonde hair guy.
Yeah.
The one that Jessica Biel has to stab in the stomach.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get his post. I'm gonna get his signature on my poster as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Dude, yeah. There's Part 3 that's over there. That poster. I don't know how many I got on there. 1, 2, 3.
You got Jeff Burr on there?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So jealous.
Yeah, I know. He's on there. So
jealous.
He's coming. See, the thing is, I got so many goddamn pieces. You know, I just can't show up with like a fucking semi truck full of stuff because it all costs $30-$40 a fucking auto. I can't pay all that shit. So I gotta think, what do I really, really want?
Yeah, I've got to kind of pick and choose. Got to kind of because that's what I had to do with Kim Hinkle last year because I have another one of these masks right here, but it's not painted or anything.
Sure.
And I was like, I brought the mask and I brought the poster and I whipped both of them out and I was like, I'll get his signature on the poster. I'll do that instead. So,
dude, for sure, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I just I appreciate you having me on here. And really quick, before we end it, you got time, real quick?
Oh, yeah, I got all the time in the world, man. Right. You want to make us a 2-hour thing? We can do it. But when you got to go, it's fine. No
well, before I get off, I want to expose my chainsaw theory.
Yes. Let's do this.
All right. So I did a YouTube video and a TikTok video of this, and it's okay. It's okay. Like I think it's 20 minutes or 16 minutes, but I'm probably a little more coherent right now. So
sure.
So the thing that always killed me about the Chainsaw franchise as a kid, before the remake existed, the fucking movies don't go together.
Right.
Like the sequels, they don't fucking go together. Like there are pieces in each of them, and you're like, what? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So I saw a tweet one day from the developers of the Texas Chainsaw game. I follow them on Twitter. And he posted a photo up of Leatherface from Part 1 and Leatherface from Part 2. He said, this one is Leatherface, and this one is Bubba. I had a fucking light go off. I was like, holy shit. And as soon as I saw that tweet, dude, my whole fucking mind just expanded, and I came up with this theory in like fucking 3 minutes. I said, okay, so I can make Part 1 through 4 go together. The only thing that's going to be a little weird is Matthew McConaughey's age.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So you got 2 families, the Slaughters and the Sawyers. Part 1, they're called the Slaughters. 2 and 3, they're the Sawyers. Part 4, they're called the Slaughters. So we know we got 2 families. Okay. Part 1, Leatherface. We know the hitchhiker gets killed. All right, he's fucking dead. We know Grandpa survives allegedly. So does Drayton the cook. And then Leatherface hurts his right leg. Okay. Go to Part 2. Leatherface's leg is completely fine. But that Leatherface acts completely different than Leatherface from part one. Like, he acts really fucking goofy, doesn't he?
Yes.
Like, he's really fucking silly and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a different grandpa in part two. So that could be from the other side of the family.
Okay.
And then we got a different grandma up there too. And that can be from the other side of the family, whichever one, the Slaughters or the Sawyers. It doesn't matter. So we know Leatherface gets killed. Like, he gets fucking impaled with the chainsaw. His guts are hanging out. Then he gets blown up with a grenade. Him, Drayton, that grandpa all fucking die. We know Chop Top survives because All American Massacre, it exists, but it doesn't exist. So we know Chop Top is still fucking out there.
Yep, right.
Okay, Stretch survives in part two. Go to part three. We know Stretch is looking for the Sawyers because she's fucking there. She's fucking searching, man. She's at one of the crime scenes. We know that for a fucking fact. Well, it's weird because Leatherface in part three, he has a leg brace on the same leg that he got hurt in part one. So we also know that Leatherface in part three, he does homework. Like, he's getting smarter, and he's kind of like starting to lead the family in part three. Like, he's kind of like the main guy in part three now. We know that maybe he has a daughter right there.
Right.
And then also the grandpa that's now a fucking corpse, that kind of looks like grandpa from part one.
Yes.
So that can be the same grandpa. Okay. Then we go to, and then real quick, also, we find out Leatherface gets the big chainsaw, says the Saw is family.
Yes.
Okay, that's clearly like a thing that the whole family fucking says because Drayton says it in part two. The Saw is family.
Mm-hmm.
So they got it on the Saw in part three. Fast forward to part four. Part four, when it opens up, it acknowledges that part two and part three happened.
Okay.
All right. Leatherface in part four is completely different than Leatherface in part one, two, and three. So my theory is Leatherface in part two and Leatherface in part four is either a brother or a cousin from the Sawyer or the Slaughters. He dons the fucking mask, whenever they're not completely mentally there. But Velmer just so happens he's got a mechanical knee brace on the same fucking leg that Leatherface had the knee brace on in part three, that Leatherface hurt in part one. So Velmer is Leatherface from part one and part three. Because Leatherface was getting smarter in part three. He was doing homework. He's a lot smarter. It just takes him longer, it takes him a lot longer to, on the up and up and to educate himself and etc. And we saw too in part three, he was starting to kind of take control of the family and not just be the muscle, but kind of lead the family. Not completely, but he was leading the family because he puts fucking Tinker in his place. He's out fucking, he does, man. He fucking, like, he doesn't take shit part three, where he takes shit part one. He doesn't take shit part three. But by the time we get to part four, he's lost so many fucking family members from all this bullshit. And he's like taking over what's left of the family. He's going fucking insane.
Whoa.
So with the exception of Matthew McConaughey being a little shorter and a little younger, that can connect all four movies together.
And it's like you can't just put the physical look of them, to be the thing to rule that out because, hey, you got Matthew McConaughey in there, but it could have been anybody, right? It's all about the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So, and if you want to add the supernatural part of the Illuminati, okay, that's how Leatherface looks like Matthew McConaughey in part four. They're doing their fucking voodoo bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
this is so weird.
But I don't even fucking acknowledge that. I mean, you don't have to say that. But if you want to connect the first four films, that's how you could connect it. Leatherface from part one is the same guy in part three. That's Velmer in part four.
Yep.
Whereas Leatherface in part four can be a cousin or a brother, and Leatherface in part two can be a cousin or a brother.
So, and then you're not saying Leatherface from two is the same as Leatherface in four. They're just two different. Okay.
Two different. Hell, dude, Leatherface in part two could be the window washer from part one.
It could be. Could fucking be, man.
Because we never fucking saw him again. Nobody ever talks about that son of a bitch.
Has that guy ever signed any fucking poster before? Because God damn it.
That's the fucking one.
Yes.
That's the fucking one to get. I think he passed away in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. So he probably didn't, because that was well before they started doing cons. Because I don't think they started doing cons with Chainsaw until like the early 90s. I could be wrong.
Sure.
I could be. I don't know, though. But that's how, just to put a bow on that, because like I said, that shit used to drive me wild as a fucking kid, drive me insane. I was like, these movies don't go together at all. Like, they got parts and pieces, but that's one way you could connect all four of them, is because even in the beginning of part 3, they talk about W.E. Sawyer would become Leatherface when he would put a human flesh mask on.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take that ideal and say that's what the family does. They create Leatherfaces each time they need to.
I absolutely love it. I like, who can give the answer to that, right? You know,
that's, dude. And I broke this down. Like, Dahlia was booked at Monster Mash in Marietta, Ohio last year. And so there's fucking Miko Hughes right beside her, Sergeant Slaughter on this side. And we're sitting there with our chainsaws and shit. And there's fucking Michael Berryman's over there. And I got some good footage of him holding this Excalibur, which was very fucking cool.
That's cool.
Dude, it was awesome. And I didn't know Michael Berryman is an expert on chainsaws. So he legit is. It was very cool. So we're all sitting there and stuff. And then this Ultimate Texas Chainsaw fan came up, and I told him the same theory I just told you.
Yeah.
And he was fucking shocked. He said, no fucking way. He said,
yeah, dude.
He said, I don't want to believe that, but that makes fucking sense. I said, yeah. I mean, then he gave me a cool poster. So
yeah, I mean, Jesus, patent that or something. We need another movie now, Nate. Jesus
That's what
Christ.
I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Well, too, also, you could look at it where there's so many Slaughters and Sawyers. They all don't have to be related. They could literally be stolen people. They could be stolen people from other families.
Yep.
You know, like little Leatherface's daughter in part 3 she could have been stolen from a family.
Sure.
So,
of course, man. I mean, yeah, it's like once you get into that fucking backwoods, you know, inbred, the fucking, it's infinite possibilities. So.
Oh yeah. And then also too, if you wanted to connect and have the Hewitts be related to them, so you can make the remake universe work with it also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So you could have like all 3 families: the Slaughters, the Sawyers, and the Hewitts. So.
Man, have you ever met Jennifer yet?
No, it'll be the first time.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I got she was at the CryptCon a little while ago with Ken Forey or whatever.
I love Ken.
Dude,
I've met Ken.
That was a good time. But dude, she is something else. I got a soft spot for her, man. I got a little crush on her. She's crazy as hell.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get her to hold the Excalibur.
Yes.
That's what I'm excited about, because where I do the Son of Leatherface gimmick, that's the daughter of Leatherface. Yeah. So it'll just be fucking cool.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool, dude.
I just love Chainsaw, man. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's one of those franchises to where the fans that love it fucking love it.
Yeah.
And probably some of the coolest fucking fans you'll ever meet, too.
Of course. Of course. Especially the ones that fucking love some wrestling, too, man. That's just a beautiful blend, baby.
It is. It really is.
Well, make sure you please tell Black Dahlia that I got to get me another one of those little wrestling buddies of her when it comes out, too, since she won't have it ready for
We'll make sure.
Next
we'll
month.
Make sure, man.
But let me know when you guys book a hotel or whatever, because I'll shoot you a message after this and let you know which hotel we're at, because maybe if you guys got a pick of the litter here, it'd be cool to kick it back, back at the hotel as well,
oh, hell yeah, bro. Well, we're going to have a good fucking time that weekend at the Midwest Horror Fest. We're going to film content. We're going to photos and just everything. And before I jump off here, I was checking out the comments.
Oh, yeah, I haven't even read a single one.
My bad. Black Dahlia said, which Leatherface would you have a one-night stand with? Who would you pick?
Ooh, for me, out of all of them?
I'm going with part 2, man.
See, but that makes me think like I'm just going to get dominated by a Leatherface. So
No. Part 2, I feel like part 2 I can manipulate. You know what I mean? I feel like him I can manipulate. I couldn't manipulate part 3, maybe part 4. Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Part 4, because Renee Zellweger tells him, you sit the fuck down. So I'm going
that's true. Yep. I guess just out of my masculinity, I'd have to dominate the 2017 Leatherface. I'm not going to call him a boy on live. The young man.
FBI starts searching you up.
Freeze,
they
fucker.
kick in the door. Chris Hansen throws you in cuffs right now.
Yeah, so Reese Balling saying, hey, Evil Nate, you are absolutely awesome and totally wicked, brother. Thank you for all that you and Paige do. You're both amazing, which is true as shit.
Thank you. Oh, I see Greek Savage is watching. He says, shout out Evil Nate. Appreciate you, Greek. Thanks.
Oh yeah, Shango shit shows sharing this. Dude, Cole Jackson's in the house. Dude, a bunch of fucking people. That's this killer, man. I
Oh
appreciate it.
yeah, dude.
Sorry, everybody. This is more of a personal. I just couldn't wait to get on the fucking camera and talk with my homie here. So,
Thank you, dude. It's been a fucking blast. Like I said, I could talk chainsaw. I fucking love it.
Same here, man. So this just even builds it up for me more for fucking Chicago. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you got to get going, we got to get going. If not, the last question I had, just a quick one for you though,
Hell yeah.
is that you guys got some camera crews following you around. What do you guys got going on right now? You're filming in a documentary, or what's going on? Can you talk about it?
We've done a couple of things. So last year we actually filmed something. It could have been pitched for the Discovery Channel. A guy that had, I'll tell you what's funny too, is Brett Wagner actually hooked us up with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty close with Brett and RA, like very close. And they've been great with me. I mean, hell, Brett sent me a Leatherface issue 1 comic,
Nice.
you know, and I fucking kept it, and I've got that stored. I said, I'm not getting rid of that. He's like, you can sell it. I was like, no, I'm fucking keeping that.
I'm bringing that to Chicago for Mort to sign, baby.
Yeah, that means something. So we did a documentary last summer. It was a pilot for wrestling and what it's like to do all this, and then on top of that, her with her CRPS. And then this year, when she did her con in Philadelphia for WrestleMania weekend, which shout out to Greek Savage, he brought her in for that.
Nice.
When she did that, there was Daryl who's going to be at Chicago, and he's going to be filming, because I told him, I was like, dude, we're going to be in your neck of the woods in October, in June for Midwest Gore Fest. You should come by, film everybody, and do stuff. And I put him in contact with Mark, and I think they got something going on now. So, yeah, we just been filming and documenting her battle with CRPS and getting her life back. And she's already saved some lives and stuff with it. And she's been very fucking inspiring. Wow. Because, yeah, the condition that she has, it's called the trigger warning. It's called the suicide disease, because people would rather die than live with it. So she fights this shit every day, dude. And it's just the most, she's constantly in pain, never not in pain. So when she goes to work, she's in pain. When she goes to the gym, she's in pain. When she got in the ring for the first time last weekend, gave a stunner, took a DDT, she was in pain. So it's very inspiring to watch what she does and what she goes through. Sure. Because I told her, I said, ain't no fucking way I could do what you do. You're a fucking badass.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we're documenting that. And, yeah, we're just trying. A couple weeks ago, we filmed a movie with, or a proof of concept film with former WWE superstar Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah.
He was former TNA world champion. So I'm filming a scene. I've never acted a day in my life, and I'm in this fight scene kicking his ass and stuff. Nice. I'm like, God, this is fucking insane.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of different things going on.
Uh-oh. No, did I miss you here? Uh-oh. Nate? Maybe our time's running out here. Oh, he hopped off. All right, we got some shit. Nate, if you can hop back on, absolutely come back. Absolutely, man. I'd take you any fucking day of the week. While I'm waiting for some shit to come back here, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about the goddamn Midwest Gore Fest for so fucking long. Here, let me shoot him a quick message here. You can click back into the link if you can. Anyway, so baby, ladies and gentlemen, Midwest Gore Fest is coming up. If you guys got time to fucking hop in Chicago and come kick it with your boy, you know I'm gonna fucking be there, man. We got the fucking regular cast reunions, but we also got Big Bob Elmore, Andrew Bernarski's going to be there. We're also going to see Mick and Thomas are going to be there. They were the TCM3 special effects, and actually one of them did the special effect traps for the original Saw movie too, which is dope. You're also going to see Mort, who was involved in the first original TCM comic book. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Plus, there's pro wrestling. This shit's insanity, man. So, let me just see here if he's hopped back on real quick, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's always a shit show how we do this stuff around here. So, fucking A. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be hopping back on. That's all right. We'll be thanking him as much as possible. Mr. fucking Evil Nate Hewitt, I swear to God, I love the shit out of you, brother. I can't believe we finally got to do this thing, man. It was so sick. You know, and again, a little plug right here. Everybody, the merch store is open right now. I got some new shit on there. Space Corps Podcast, Stoney's TCM Museum in Minnesota. Even some good old throwbacks in there, dude. Even the old fucking Waffle House days. I got some stuff up there, baby. So make sure that you fucking hit that up if you want. If you want to get in on some of that beautiful shit. Again, I'm just trying to fucking backtrack here for a minute and see if he's trying to hop back on. I don't think he is, and that's okay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but everybody, this is going to draw an end to the Space Corps podcast. I would like to formally thank Mr. Evil Nate Hewitt, the son of Leatherface, the Killbilly himself. He has been nothing but a goddamn prince on this fucking podcast. I'm so goddamn happy this went down the way it did, baby. I'm sorry, unfortunately, the ending was a little shit show like that, but again, it is what it is, man. So if you motherfuckers are coming out to Chicago, let me know, man. I'd like to kick it with you. We're going to be there. Again, if you're in Minneapolis area, we got the Crypticon coming up. We got Big Bob Elmore. Carolyn Williams are going to be there together doing an in photo op fucking shoot, whatever the fuck you want to call that. But again, the Gore Fest is really where it's at. That's coming up soon. That's coming up on June 21st and 22nd. I will be there. Evil Nate Hewitt will be there. The Black Dahlia will be there. Holy fuck. I can't wait, dude. So come kick it with your boy. Let me know. That's as much as I'm going to fucking say, baby. This has been the Space Corps podcast. It's your homeboy Stoney coming to you live from the TCM Museum of Minnesota, you slut. That's all I got to say. I'm kicking it every fucking Saturday with y'all. If you can't hang out during the live, I put this up on the old the YouTube page. Where the fuck is it? Right here. YouTube, Space Corps Podcast. You know the goddamn thing. Go subscribe to that motherfucker. Buy some merch or don't. Long live the fucking chainsaw, everybody. I'm fucking out, baby. Peace.